Welcome, everyone. We're so thrilled to have you here for this exciting webinar. Whether you're joining us from your office, your home, or on the go, we're so grateful you made time to be with us today. We've got a fantastic session lined up as we give you a sneak peek into our inventory management capabilities on track for release later on this month. Before we dive in, a few housekeeping items. Hopefully your audio and video settings are working. Let us know if you have any issues. You can also use the arrow at the top to collapse the webinar control panel for more viewing real estate. Whether you're a longtime user or just getting started, this webinar is all about helping you get the most out of DTools Cloud. My name is Chanel, and I'm going to kick things off with an update on DTools Cloud. Then I'll hand it over to Bobby, our product manager, who will showcase how DTools Cloud inventory management tools can help you achieve your goals. Plus, we'll have time to answer questions at the end. So we've come a long way since launching DTools Cloud at CEDIA 2018. And I just wanted to say thank you for being with us along the journey and contributing to the amazing product we have today. DTools Cloud is a full end-to-end solution, and we're here to train all employees and help you deploy it in every aspect of your business. For those of you who don't know, we recently launched DTools Payments. So you can now manage all of your financial billing activity from invoice to bank deposit inside of DTools Cloud. So that means when you send a client a proposal, they'll be able to pay right from that link using ACH or credit cards to help you get paid faster. We'll also enroll your clients in AutoPay for reoccurring payments, pass those convenience fees along, and also automatically reconcile the activity in QuickBooks. So if you're not using DTools Payments, you're missing out. This is our way to help you keep more of your financial activity inside the DTools ecosystem. And we hope that this helps continue on our brand promise of streamlining your operational efficiency. Okay, well, with that, I'll hand it over to Bobby and we'll dive into inventory management.
Thank you, Chanel. Thank you all for joining today. So we're going to take a dive into inventory, and I know it's a long-awaited feature. What I'm going to show you first is a few of the features that are included in inventory, and first and foremost is stock management. So with this, you will always know what stock you have on hand. It allows you to keep track of stock levels for various equipment and supplies. And by doing so, it will ensure that you always have the necessary components for installations and preventing delays. Here are some of those key features for stock management: a way to track the movement of your inventory, a way to set minimum stock levels so it informs you when supplies are getting low, a way to set reorder alerts so you know how much to order, and of course, the value of on-hand inventory. Another key feature is the asset tracking feature. So with this, it helps you track and manage your equipment. It will ensure that you know the location and status of each item, reducing the risk of loss, misplacement, and improves coordination. With that, you'll be able to track stuff real time, view the movement of those inventory items, view current stock levels across your organization, and then receive and move equipment with barcode scanning. So what's next? With inventory coming out at the end of the month, we understand that there's certain features that are highly requested from our users. And then what is on tap for iterations or what's the next installment of inventory. What you see here on the roadmap, of course, it's available on our website through the Lightning Bolt, but here is label making and serialization, viewing inventory from quotes, accounting financial integrations, client installed inventory reports, viewing inventory for service calls, stock reconciliation, and much more based on the feedback we get as this feature is released. So with that, we'll dive into a demo. Give me 1 second here and I'll switch over. And what you see here is before we dive in, I want to let you know that I'll be showcasing the feature in our staging environment. And if some of you may know that a staging environment is really designed for testing and development, so it can be occasionally slower or exhibit some quirks, but rest assured, these quirks are limited to staging and will not impact the performance or reliability of the feature in our live environment. With that said, let's get started and let's explore this new feature and see how it can transform your workflow. So first and foremost, how do I get inventory or my in-stock items into DTools Cloud? And so where we're going to start is we're going to start at the catalog, at my product catalog. And you guys should be familiar with this if you're existing customers. If you're not, then it's a way to import your product catalog into cloud. And starting there, you're going to be able to import the stock items via our CSV import through Excel. And what I'm showing on the screen is a sample of that CSV import. And what you'll notice is we've added a few columns here for inventory. I've marked them on here just for ease of use. So quantity on hand, a way to set the minimum stock level, a way to set the reorder level. And this is a quick way to bulk import all your items. And by actually entering the quantity on hand, what the system will do is it'll know that that is a stock item, and it will mark it as an inventory item in DTools Cloud. So once you put a total in there, you'll be able to mark it as an inventory item on the DTools Cloud side on import. I've also highlighted a few other columns here to the left of that, and which is the barcode scanning. And I've labeled it as barcode scanning because as you try to access that feature, use that feature with the new inventory release, it really is dependent on the barcodes that you have in the system. And this is a way to enter those manually for now into the system using the UPC, EAN, and ITF. And we understand that there's a need for that to be automated, and that is under consideration for future releases, and it will depend on our partners. So just as a quick note, if you're uploading your inventory items and marking them as inventory items, you want to also consider uploading the barcode scanning numbers here as well. Okay, let's jump back in to DTools Cloud. And what you'll see here and notice is that there is two views now under the product catalog. One is the price and one is the inventory. And this will give you a quick snapshot of all your inventory items within DTools Cloud. And also from that price view, I wanted to make sure that I point out that you can add single items to your inventory items by simply accessing the ellipses menu and marking it as either an inventory item, and in this case, this is an inventory item. I can mark it as a non-inventory item to remove it from the list. Once I do so, there is a way to check in inventory single item by single items. I mean, as I mark this as an inventory item, it's going to ask me to set an initial stock for that item since I am adding it to my stock. And then it'll prompt me exactly where that item is being checked into. In this case, I'm just going to select the warehouse. I'm going to say, give it a total of 20 items that is going into inventory. And that's a quick and easy way to add stock into your inventory. So from the inventory view, that item should be updated with my on-hand totals. And what on-hand means to our inventory feature means that I have it in my possession, and it is comprised of two columns that you see here as far as the stock levels. One is the allocated, which means that it's designated for a project. The second is that it's available. So in this case, that new item that I've added to the list is available because it is not either reserved or allocated to, or designated for a project to be used. So just so you understand what these columns are, the other ones are pretty straightforward. Quantity on order is really any item that are on a PO and have been sent to a supplier and is on order. Quantity needed is any item on a project that is required for that project, right? So a project that has been won, all items that are stock items that are needed in that project will show up here as a total. And then the last two columns here it's a way to, again, set minimum stock levels, like I mentioned in the slides, as well as the reorder level, which means how much do I want to reorder as I create this PO or the system creates the PO. In this case, if we're using the Clear Touch as an example, I've set the minimum stock level at 30. And once it drops below that, I will get a notification alerting me that I've dropped below that minimum stock that I've set. And then it will help me create, or it'll notify me that I can create a PO with 30 on it, right? So as far as that's how many I would like to order each time I get alerted that it has dropped below the minimum stock. We'll take a deep dive into the product details here. We'll use the Clear Touch, and you'll notice that there's a new inventory tab here. And again, you get those stock level statuses across the top, on hand, available, allocated, ordered, and needed, as well as the location of this particular item. In this case, I have it in warehouse. I have it on aisle 3 as well as aisle 1. And what you'll notice on the screen is also there's a history log on the bottom. So the movement of this item will be tracked. So in this case, I've either transferred or moved an item from one place to another. I've received quantity into the warehouse to a particular location, or I've transferred again from aisle 1 to aisle 3. And as I click manage, what I'll show you is a way to move that within your inventory location. So in this case, if I wanted to move 10 to a particular location, I would be able to do so quite easily. So now what you've seen is that I've taken 10, a quantity of 10 from the other aisle and moved it into aisle 1 or aisle 2, excuse me. So really easy to use, really straightforward. And as far as setting up locations or inventory locations on the initial setup, what you'll be able to do is set up 5 levels deep, and that consists of setting it up in your settings under procurement, under inventory locations. And we won't go too deep into it here, but you'll be able to set up the warehouse. You'll be able to set 5 levels deep from the warehouse. So a zone, an aisle, a bin, and 2 other locations below that. So you can go as deep as you want, and you can name these to whatever you want. What you'll also notice on the screen is that there's 2 other types of locations that you'll be able to set as far as a vehicle. And so if you have vehicles like a service van, you'll be able to set that up, as well as anything on site. And what you see here on the example is I've set up one for a Jones residence storage container that you may have out at the site, really specific to that site that you may want to say we have items or equipment stored there, that you can set that up and as a temporary, and then that way as it moves, you can track it. So once that has been set up, what you'll want to know is, how does this affect my workflow, right? How do I manage, or how do I see this? Now, how does it integrate into DTools Cloud? So now what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a project level kind of management tool that we've improved. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into a project called San Diego Gastropub. We're going to look at the item status page. And what we've done here is we've improved and updated the item status to give you more information of the equipment that you need for the project, and tied it into our inventory feature. So starting from the top, what you'll notice is that there's a way to view the ordering, and then a way to view what needs to be scheduled. So what you'll notice next is that on this drop down, we've broken it out by phases. So you can quickly filter by the phase. And what you see here is any of those items that you've marked on your quote as in a particular phase, it will automatically filter down to that based on the location, or group by the location. Or if it, for smaller projects, if there are no phases, you can it defaults to all phases. So you'll see all the items and then listed by that, or grouped by that location here. You can also group by system or phase, or by none. If you want to see it as the old way, or are comfortable with the old item status view, this is the closest thing to that. So I'm going to go back to locations, and then we're going to look at some of the other features that tie into inventory here. What you'll notice first and foremost on this line item, that the Sonos in ceiling speaker, is that I have a required amount for this project. I have a new column that says reserved. I have another new column that says available inventory. So with this, I know that this is an in stock or inventory item that I keep just by the available inventory that is available to me. In this case, the Sonos, we keep we're keeping 30 in stock. For this project, I know that I need 4, and for this line item, I have not reserved any for my project. So a quick and easy way to reserve it or to pull it from inventory is that I'm going to go ahead and check that. And then on this new button here, as far as order or drop down, I'll be able to reserve it from inventory. And then it'll prompt me, do I want to reserve all 4? It automatically knows that I need 4, and it'll automatically assume that I'm trying to reserve all of it. And I'll go ahead and reserve it. And now what you'll see is that I'm ready to go, and I have all 4 that I require for this particular item. And now I can move over to my scheduling, and we'll go over that in a second here. And there's no need for a PO or an estimated delivery date here. This estimated delivery date, as far as the column is concerned, is pulls from your purchase order. So if there's an existing purchase order, it will take that estimated date that's on the PO, and it will populate it here. I'm going to scroll down. There's another new feature on this page in regards to multiple items of the same product on this page, right? So in this bar area, what you'll notice is I have 2 Cat6 cables of the same, but I've split them out as 2 different line items. The reason I did that is just to show you that now it also aggregates what you need as far as that particular item. So here in this case, if I only want to install that first Cat5 cable, then I'll be able to reserve the amount for that and then schedule it on the next tab that I'll show here. And then if I still have a second set of cables that I want to install later, I can reserve those later. If there's not an urgent need to pull it from inventory just yet, you can do so. But the feature here really is that it'll aggregate and show you how many items in total that you need for the project in this column. So really nice feature. I know in the past that these items are broken out throughout locations or systems, and you needed to manually count all the items by hand to understand how many you needed or how for this particular project. So really nice update and improvement to that. Before we move over to the scheduling page, I also wanted to point out that it will reference the PO number here. It will again pull over the ETA date of that particular, if you have it. Manually inputted on your PO. So it will show that on the screen, and it'll give you enough information as to how far along this particular product is coming in or is going to be delivered. What you will also notice on this page is that the status, because it's in ordering and tracking ordering, is that the status here says ordered or not ordered. You do have the ability to mark these items as ready to be ordered from the drop-down menu here. So if I select that Crestron, I do have the ability to tell my procurement, if this is your workflow, that it's ready to be ordered. I can mark it as ready to be ordered. And what that's going to do, and maybe that's a bad example because I've reserved it. Let me try the wire path. And where that's going to go is it's going to go to the ready to order page. If you guys are familiar with DTools Cloud, As you go to that page, we'll cover it, and we'll go to that page in a few here after I've covered scheduling to show you that on that ready to be ordered page, you'll be able to see what your project managers are ready as far as for some of the equipment to be ordered, just as the same as the existing flow that you have available to you in DTools Cloud. So we'll follow that flow in a second here. I wanted to show you scheduling so we're not jumping back and forth between screens. On this scheduling side, what you'll be able to do is actually schedule this equipment from here. So what I've done is I've set up a few tasks. And so what I can do with that Sonos is schedule for installations, and it will pull in any of the tasks that I've laid out on my task or project task page. Another neat feature here it shows you all the tasks. If you do have it broken out by phase, you can, that'll be on the finish or on the trim. On the trim, if this particular Sonos in ceiling is on my trim, and then as I quick filter to that trim phase, it will also do so for my task. So it will know that this is the phase that I'm working in. So now it'll show me and it'll filter down to the tasks that are tagged with that task group, which is the trim task group in this case. I'm going to add it to my prep and mobilize, and I have it here, and now I can set it or schedule it for that prep and mobile. And it should, and again, we're in this staging environment, so let me refresh. And it probably has a quirk in it. But what it should do, there it is. It'll show the task and it will let you know when it's scheduled for. And in this case, I scheduled it for the 27th, and then it's going to give me the name of the task. And as I click on that, it's a hyperlink to that task, so you can open it and make any modifications as far as descriptions, checklists, or add any items to that task if you'd like to do so. And then it does update the status to a scheduled status. Okay. And then if you manage your jobs without that task and you would like to just continue your flow using this item status, you do have the ability to change the status of a particular item to one of the existing installer statuses, meaning that it was planned, it was staged, it was picked, or it was installed. So you still have the flexibility of using those statuses. What we'll show on this page is whether it's scheduled, not scheduled, or installed. So that's the new updated item status page. I'd mentioned that in procurement, as I mark it ready to be ordered, that your procurement person would be able to see it here. And you've seen this page updated a few releases ago. We've added some other columns in here, or one other column, which is the reserve quantity, which ties into our inventory feature, as well as a way to, and I'm going to use this Panamax, which I know is marked as an inventory item. What it allows me to do is see again the stock statuses, providing that it's an inventory item. So the statuses we went over earlier, it'll allow me to know for this particular project that there's 2 that are ready to be ordered. If I have any in stock, it will allow me to reserve it and deduct it from the available in stock quantity by toggling that switch over. And then it will then let me add it to or create a new purchase order with the correct amount. So what that means is if I had an item in stock here and I requested, the project manager had requested 2, the system will know that I only need to order 1, right? So it is smart enough to know that I 2 were requested, I have 1 in stock. As I toggle that on, I want to reserve the existing 1, and then I'll just have to order 1 other one to meet my need for that particular project or project manager. In the case that it is not a stock item that I carry, what you'll see on that screen as you click on that particular item is that it's just a requested item, and then it will just give you the option to create a new purchase order or add it to an existing one. And so to follow that flow back, once it has been received, what you will see is that you will see it updated as an item that has come into the project just like before and received, and you'll be able to schedule that particular item. Wanted to also show you the new inventory page. And we had talked about value and minimum stock levels and reorder and a way to view what I have on hand as far as the value is concerned. So here is that page to manage that and to view it. As I click on a particular item, it's the same as what you have in the product page or product details page. So a way to set the minimum stock levels, a way to move it, and a way to view history of this particular item. I had mentioned in the slides that the system is smart enough to notify you that there are certain items that have dropped below the minimum stock level. So up in the top right under your notifications, you will get notified in case you do miss that notification or the little check mark goes away after you view it. There is a centralized place to view all the items that have dropped below the minimum stock level, which is right here as far as manage. Again, it'll show you all the items that have dropped below the minimum stock level. And what it'll allow me to do is also create this particular order for the item that has dropped below the minimum stock level. I'm going to go ahead and skip this and show you that creation. It's going to take what I've set as the reorder amount and create the PO. And then now I can send that PO to my supplier and order that particular item. Go ahead, cancel. We do have a scanning feature, that barcode scanning. So if you have a terminal near your receiving a dock, you can use a handheld scanner to scan it. I don't, so this is what it's going to show up like. It's going to show you a screen to scan those items in. It's going to search by the barcode or the UPC. It's going to look for all associated products via a PO, and then it'll allow you to check those items in. I do have some designs as far as the mobile. I don't have the ability to share that as far as the mobile. It will be part of the initial release. So we'll go over what that prototype looks like, and that's exactly what I have pulled up here. So from the mobile side, again, this is a prototype, but will be part of the initial release. So just to show you what that looks like, it will scan the UPC. It will ask me or search for that particular item. It will ask me this if this is the item that I'm trying to receive. It will look for all the POs that are have that UPC code. I will be able to select that particular PO that I am receiving the item for. In this case, I'm receiving 30, partially received that. I am checking it into a particular location, and then I click finish, and then it's going to prompt me for any additional purchase orders that I'm trying to receive items against. And in this case, I'll say no, and then it'll update. And again, this is a prototype, but this is how that will function as far as barcode scanning.
Thanks for the time, and we look forward to speaking with you in a future webinar.